Today's topic is electric cell. Now, the cell means what? Cell means the source that can produce electricity. Now, in this case, the electricity produced, that is the current produced, is DC in nature, direct current. It is neither varying or alternating. So, it maintains a steady value. And inside the cell, the chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. So, it is a basic definition of a cell. Now, the question is, how many types of cells are present? Look at the board. It is written there are two types of cells. One is primary, that is irreversible, and another is secondary or accumulator, another name, it is reversible. Now, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of these two terms is reversible and irreversible. These two terms are also present in thermodynamics. That is, if any cycle starts from a point and then come back to the point again, without any change in the surroundings, that is a reversible process. Now here it is the definition of thermodynamics, but in this case, how it is reversible? See, whenever we are using any cell, inside chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. How? Because inside the cell, then you should know inside the cell what is present. Inside the cell, the electrolytes, that is the acid, the molten material, suppose sulfuric acid, and the electrolytes and the electrodes, that is the anode and cathode. These two are known as electrodes. So, whenever there is a chemical change, that is within the electrolytes, the cations and anions are formed and they move towards anode and cathode. Then the chemical energy is converted to electrical energy, and we get a flow of electron between these two electrodes. Now, what is the direction of electron? The direction of electron in the external circuit means what? That is outside the cell. The direction of electron in the external circuit is from cathode to anode, and current direction from anode to cathode. Anode means positive, cathode means negative. But just opposite is observed inside the cell. That means inside the cell, the direction of electron is from anode to cathode. Correct? Anode to cathode, and then it is forming a cycle. Now, the main concept is, in irreversible cell, chemical energy once converted to electrical energy, that electrical energy goes to the external circuit, but we never return back to the chemical energy again. That is, that chemical energy is dissipated and gradually the cell is of no use. That is, after some time we just throw the cell because it is totally exhausted. That means entire chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. Now, in case of secondary cell, there is a advantage. Advantage means we can recharge the cell. Whenever we are recharging the cell, again chemical energy is regained. And how we are recharging? We are recharging by some external source. Then source is not the cell itself. there is another source which is charging the cell, correct? So it is a reversible process from chemical to electrical when it is in use or during usage, and then during, or you can tell during discharging usage, same, because during usage it is discharging gradually, and during charging then again chemical energy is regained from the external electrical energy from which it is getting charged. So it is a reversible, irreversible, primary, secondary. There are few name of primary cell. For example, the simple voltaic cell, Lakeland cell, Daniell cell, and the dry cell, So these are the basically primary cell. But maximum time practical life we use this dry cell. Dry cell anywhere in the remote control of the AC or TV or in torch. So we use this type of dry cell. Now dry cell is of, what is the amount of voltage or actually potential is present? 1.5 volt. In every dry cell it is 1.5 volt. But for Lakeland's and Daniell cell it is mainly used not in practical life, it is mainly used in laboratory. So it is less than 1.5 volt. It is not 1.5 volt, nearly 1.03 or something like that. Now the question is, what is the use of secondary cell? Nowadays we use rechargeable torch. Also use the mobile, because mobile battery is rechargeable, you know that. Now what is present inside this accumulator or secondary cell? There are mainly two types, or two different type of materials are used. Either it is nickel cadmium NiCd, or it is lithium. For example, in the mobile we use lithium cell. Okay, so these are basically the chemical part of the cell. Now come to physics again. Now inside the cell, just now told, electrodes and electrolytes are present already. Now what are the main parameters or main physical quantities related to the cell? The main physical quantity related to the cell, mainly three. One is EMF, full form is electromotive force, number one. Number two is terminal potential or potential difference, same. And number three is the internal resistance. Now what is EMF, electromotive force? Actually the name, though it is electromotive force, actually it is potential or potential difference, rather it is potential difference. Now potential difference between what? Potential difference between two terminals of the cell when it is open circuit. Now what is open circuit? Open circuit means no external load is connected to the cell. That is, cell is not connected to any circuit. Okay, just open, clear? So this is open, that is current is not flowing to the external circuit from the cell. So it is open circuit, it is EMF. Now whenever we are connecting the cell with any circuit, that is with any external load, the load may be a bulb like torch, the load may be your mobile phone, anything. Okay, so whenever it is connected to the external load, the current is flowing, then current is not zero. Now in that case, the potential difference at two terminals of the cell, that is positive and negative, we get terminal potential or potential difference. And the another physical quantity is the internal resistance. Internal resistance means what? See, inside the cell what is present? Electrodes and electrolytes. Now these electrodes and electrolytes should have some resistance. Yes, because we know that all types of conductor, not only conductor, the electrolytes and semiconductor also, they have resistance. So nothing is superconductor. There is a term in nowadays, that is superconductor, which has no resistance, but still now it is in the laboratory stage. Practically we are not using superconductor. So every conductor, electrolytes or semiconductor should have resistance. That means inside the cell there is a resistance, and that resistance is known as internal resistance. Why internal? Because inside, very easy to understand, inside the cell. Now the question is how this EMF, terminal potential, internal resistance are related. Look at the board. There is a diagram drawn with the red color, red pen. See, that box represents the cell, which has a positive and a negative. This you know because we are using the dry cell or simple battery. We told it battery, though battery and cell are not equal. Battery means the multiple cell forms a battery, but a single is cell. Now, inside the cell, see, the positive and negative has given. In the second diagram I mentioned that, you know, the long terminal is positive, short terminal is negative, and that represents the EMF of the cell, E, small e, and the resistance due to that what I just now told, that is smaller inside the cell, and outside a big R is present, that is the external resistance or load, simply load. Now at two terminals of the cell, VA and VB, VA is high potential because quite easy, positive terminal, and VB is low potential because negative terminal. So current flows from high to low potential, that is VA to VB. Simple diagram. Now if we draw an equivalent circuit of this diagram, that is in the next diagram with an arrow it is shown, then that big R, that is load resistance or simply load, and internal resistance small r in series with the EMF. See, just the equivalent circuit is, we just taken out the internal resistance from inside the cell, from the cell, and draw an equivalent circuit in which bigger and smaller are in series with the EMF. Now if it's so, then come to the next two equations. The first equation is, if we only look through the load resistance, VA minus VB, that is potential difference, is I into R, simply Ohm's law. But if we look the second diagram, then total resistance is what? In series, bigger plus smaller. So current is flowing I. So what is E then? I am not telling VA minus VB, E, total. So E equal to I, bigger plus smaller. Now if you open the bracket, then I bigger is VA minus VB, and then plus I smaller. Again, this VA minus VB is nothing but terminal potential, VT. So it is VT plus I smaller. So E equal to small e, EMF equal to terminal potential plus I smaller. Or we can write VT equal to E minus smaller, very easy from simple algebra, E minus IR. So it is a relation between terminal potential, EMF and EMF. Now the question is, from this expression that is in the bracket, the diagonal bracket, from this expression it is clear that internal resistance is not zero, because there is no cell made of superconductor. So resistance is not zero, there should have some resistance. That means VT and E are not equal. Now which one is more? Very easy to understand. This I into smaller term is a positive quantity. So VT should be less than E. Correct. Now the question is, that what is this I smaller, what is the name of this term? Current into internal resistance. The name of this term is lost volt. Now why lost? Because this voltage drop or potential difference or potential drop, anything you can tell, is within the cell, and we never get this in the external circuit, and this is the main reason we are not getting the EMF in the external circuit, that is E not equal to VA minus dV or VT. This is the main reason, I smaller. So it is lost volt within the cell, correct? Now this internal resistance can also be expressed in another form. Look down, smaller equal to E minus Vt by I by basic algebra. Again Vt equal to I R, so I equal to Vt by R. So just substituting the value, simple algebra, we are getting smaller equal to E by Vt minus 1 bracket into R, correct? So it is a relation between internal resistance, external resistance, EMF and terminal potential, correct? So this is all about the internal resistance, external resistance and others that just outlined. Now come to the point once again that I told, for primary cell only it can be used, that is only discharging stage is present, no charging stage, not possible. But primary cell, both are possible. Now whenever a cell is in use, that is discharging, giving us the source of electricity, then in that case or at that time, look at the board, the current is flowing from positive terminal of the cell. So VA minus VB is E minus IR. Same thing I have written again as written is the top. That is Vt, terminal potential, is less than E. But now the situation is different. When? During charging. See, at the last line of the board, during charging, the current is flowing. Listen carefully. The current is flowing against the cell. That means cell flows current from positive to negative, but here just opposite. The current is coming from another source to the cell and enters to the positive terminal and then goes from the negative terminal. That is this current, lower one, lower current is just opposite to the upper one. So we can take this current as negative with respect to the cell, EMF, E. So now VA minus VB, Vt, the name is same, equal to E minus of minus R I smaller, of minus I smaller. So ultimately we are getting E plus IR. That means a new thing is coming out, that during charging the terminal potential is more than EMF of the cell, correct? So it is only possible during charging. Clear? Okay, this is all about the cell and its internal factors and charging discharging case. Okay. Now come to the combination of cell, combination of multiple cells. Now there are two types of combination in electricity, you know, series and parallel. One mode is there, that is mixed combination, series and parallel both. But presently we are discussing the series parallel only, that is a mixed case. If you can understand this, that you can also do. Now the question is series. Series means what? Series of cell. Now whenever it is series of cell, see in the diagram the positive and negative terminals are connected alternatively. That is first cell negative to second cell positive, second cell negative to third cell positive, so on. And the extreme two ends, that is the first cell positive end and the last cell, suppose it is the nth cell, first, second, third, fourth, up to n times, nth. these two extreme terminals are connected to the external load or external resistance, simply external resistance. Now, if I add all the cell EMF, what I get? Very easy to understand. If one cell is Z, 2 is 2E, 3 is 3, so N, N. So total EMF equal to N into E. And what is the total internal resistance? Very easy. N into R, because R plus R N times, so NR. Now, what is the total resistance of the circuit? That NR internal plus one external or load bigger. Then what is the current flowing? Ohm's law. NE by NR plus bigger. Now if I write this expression in a different way means that N, make it down denominator. So we are getting that E by smaller plus bigger by N. Now suppose this N tends to infinity, that is N value is very large. When something tends to infinity, that value should be very large. Not infinity, because proper definition in infinity is not possible. So the value is very large. So if the value is very large, something by very large value is negligibly small. For that reason, something by or 1 by infinity tends to 0. So you are getting E by smaller, I equal to E by smaller. Now what is the physical significance of this equation or expression? The expression physical significance is as if there is a single cell, only one cell, not n number of cells, and there is no external resistance, R equal to 0. External resistance is not present. What is the meaning of practically? The cell is short circuited. Now this term short circuit is very vital. Short circuit means what you know. It is present in practical life also, electricity at our home. Short circuit means whenever you are connecting the two terminals of the source, it may be the DC source, a cell, or maybe the AC source, your power line. Okay, whenever you are connecting two terminals, simple with a wire having very low resistance, then maximum current flows through that. Maximum, even more than maximum, not also maximum, more than maximum current flows through that wire, and it is a condition of short circuit. That means due to this excessive flow, the term excessive is correct than maximum, due to this excessive flow of current, the cell get damaged. And if it is not cell, suppose your power line at the home, the fuse burn out, correct? So that is known as short circuit condition. So in that case, that means whenever we are connecting a large number of cells in series, so ultimately we are getting, it is equivalent to a single cell with excessive current. It is equivalent to a single cell with excessive current, that is short circuit condition, correct? It is just an equivalence comparison. Now suppose the EMF are not equal, because in this case, first case, we have considered all EMF same, all internal resistance same, but it may not be. Suppose EMF are different, internal resistance also different, EMF E1, E2, E3 up to En, internal resistance R1, R2, R3 up to Rn. So in that case, we simply add E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4 up to En. Similarly, internal resistance also R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn. That is, in short, statistically we can write summation of E and summation of smaller. So that is written in this next line with red pen. That is, in that case, I equal to summation of E, where I varies from 1 to n. There should be a suffix I that I have not written, but it is very easy to understand. and then Ri or Ri1 to n, and then plus big R. Okay. So that is the value of current for series of cells. Now come to parallel. Of cell. See, again we have considered a number of cells in parallel having same EMF, same internal resistance. So, and that is also connected to an external resistance big R. The two terminals of all the cells are A and B. Terminals are same, A and B, because we know the parallel circuit is current divider, but EMF or potential difference is same. Now, through each cell the current is coming, and they combines into a single current, that is the total current actually. If I take in each branch mean for each cell, here branch means cell is I, then total current is Ni, because n number of cells are there. Now what is I? If I consider only a single cell, no external resistance, that is simply I equal to small e by small r. Ohm's law, V equal to IR. So E by R, current will be added n times, so Ne by R. Now what is the external resistance? We know that in parallel resistance formula is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 and so on. But here all are same. So what will happen? 1 by R plus 1 by R plus up to n times. So n by R, but that is 1 by R equivalent. So R equivalent, or here it is R total, internal resistance is R by n. It will just, we take the reciprocal of that, correct? Simple mathematics. So R by n. Now what is then equivalent EMF? Very easy. Again Ohm's law. I total into R total, R means smaller, internal resistance total. So what is that value? Ne by R plus R by n, n cancel out, R cancel out E. That means ultimately we get the conclusion that whenever similar EMF are connected in parallel, ultimately it will behave like a single cell. Single cell EMF, not single cell EMF, E. But internal resistance will be R by n. Internal resistance will be R by n, because resistance in parallel R or R by n. So ultimately total current is E by, in bracket, R by n plus big R, because big R is the external resistance that should be in series with the internal. Again, if n tends to infinity or very large value, not infinity, very large value, then it is E by big R. Total current is equivalent to E by big R. Now what is the significance of this expression? That here we are considering that internal resistance of a single cell, it is considered as a single cell, is nearly equal to 0, because it is very easy to understand whenever we are connecting a large number of resistance in parallel, the total resistance decreases. Very easy example I am giving you. Suppose each resistance is 1 ohms. Now suppose there are 100 resistance. So what is the total? 1 by 100 means 0.01. If it is not 100,000, not 1000, 1 lakh, 1 crore, then very less, 0.00000, like this. So ultimately it is behaving like a single cell without any internal resistance, and only one external resistance is there, that is bigger, or load is there, that is bigger. Correct. Now come to the point, if the internal resistance and EMF are not same, suppose E1, R1, E2, R2, like this and so on. So we consider, let us take 2. If you can do for 2, you can do for 3, you can do for 4, you can do for n, if your concept is clear. Now let us take 2 cells are in parallel, having different EMF, different internal resistance. Look at the last diagram. So here total current I, as drawn in the diagram, is I1 plus I2, and I1 is E1 by small r1, and I2 is E2 by small r2. So if I add this, we are getting E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 into R2. Now again, what is the total internal resistance? There is a shortcut formula of parallel resistance, that is R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. The same, the 1 by R1. If you do that, you get the same value, no problem. So R total is R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. Then what is the equivalent EMF? Ohm's law, I into R total, small r total. So we are getting equivalent EMF E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. So it is a famous formula. So if two cells are there, directly we can use that formula of equivalent EMF. So finally, what is the expression of current, or how I write in terms of Ohm's law? So this equivalent EMF equal to I into total resistance of the circuit. Total means what? Total internal plus external. So that is the expression I. So from here you can also find I, that is this EMF by that part in the denominator. Okay, so this is all about the cell, series parallel combination of cell and everything of cell. Clear? Okay.